It's so loud.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Hey, Emily, do you want to mute everyone and then unmute me maybe?
Doing so.
Perfect.
Oh, wait. Oh my God, my computer is being so annoying. All right, I just unmuted you,
Perfect.
and I just made you a host. No, I didn't. That was someone else. People keep popping on, and then it like moves the name.
Moves it. Yeah, no, you're okay.
Okay. Oh. My computer's being so slow. I just turned it on super quick, so. Hello.
Hi, Kay. I think we can hear you. We're good to go.
Okay. Did you get the code?
Yeah.
Okay.
I sent it all.
I figured like people would ask again, even though I sent it. You got it though? Okay. Okay. Hi.
Okay. Hi, Emily. We are so excited to have you on the Zoom tonight. We just know how amazing you are. And so I guess, yeah, you're recording this, right? Yeah, it says recording. So we should be good to go. Do you just want to start with telling your story a little bit? Because I know everyone doesn't know it. And then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay. So my name is Emily. I started October 25th, 2015. So a little over 2 years. I like that typical broke college student. For me, I guess my story is a little different because I joined right up on the spot. And if you've been in for a while, or even if you just started, I feel like definitely most people take a little while to join. Some join on the spot, but that was just me. And I knew nothing about the products, knew nothing about the business. I just saw one post from Cassie about being your own boss, being like living a retired life, getting out of debt, not living paycheck to paycheck, and she was 21. We're the exact same age, so it just grabbed my attention, obviously. But for me, I wasn't skeptical. For me, I just texted her and I was like, what is this? And then I joined right on the spot. Am I freezing? Because it's freezing on my end. It just may be.
You are freezing now for me. I don't know for anyone else if you are.
Oh my God, wait. Do I have kissy lips? Because I do on my end. I'm like.
You're definitely frozen.
Can you hear me at least?
Yes.
Wait, I really wish I had a better frozen look on right now. I guess it could be worse. Okay, well, as long as you can hear me, I guess I'm just going to keep going. Hold on, I'm going to play with this. Sorry. Oh, wait, is it better? Perfect. Okay, just let me know if I like freeze, you can't hear me. Anyways, so like I said, I joined and then I just jumped right into it. I promoted to Ruby in February, so about 4 months. And then after that, you know, I was going through my last year of college. And at that time, you know, I was kind of freaking out. I was going through this little mental breakdown, I guess, because I changed my major 3 times and I was graduating late because of it. I was putting myself more in debt because I was I was financially I wasn't financially independent, but like getting financial help I was, because my parents couldn't afford anything at the time. So I'm freaking out, you know, I don't know what to do with my life, and I'm about to graduate. So I guess I'm like, all right, I'll put myself in more debt and get my master's and try to force myself into something that clearly I'm not loving. So that was just hard for me. You know, obviously, I'm sure a ton of you have been or were in that position. So I was definitely, you know, very depressed and confused, and anxiety was super bad for me then. But what did I do? I decided to study abroad. So after I promoted to Ruby in February. I kind of had these few months up until I studied abroad in July of not really remembering like my story because I was lost. Like I was a lost puppy then, so it's hard for me to explain. But I kind of just hit my rock bottom, and again, I was freaking out. So I decided that I did not want to go get my master's, and if I didn't want to, I needed to make money. So I started hanging out with Cassie, and thankfully, although she was a stranger, when I saw her post and met her, she did grow up 20 minutes from me. So she had all of the rest of her team not living around here, but at least like maybe 4 or 5. And, you know, I just was learning by example. You know, people tell us, you know, be surrounded by like-minded people, right? So I just started following people's instructions. So I started hanging out with Cassie all the time. Hey, Cassie, can I come over? Like that was me all the time. So I just became better friends with her and Nyara. And they just promoted to, or Cassie just promoted to triple. So this girl is 21 years old, is a triple diamond, and I'm a ruby, like not making much. And I was like, wait a minute, we're the same age and she's making 5 figures a month. So just being there and seeing it really sparked the fever. Like I was ready to go. So I started self-developing, which I enjoyed to begin with because I studied psychology. Started working on my mindset because I was a very negative person. I made my first dream board in June after I got my wisdom teeth out because I needed something to do. And mind you, that was like, 8 months after I started. So that was a regret, you know, waiting so long, meaning. And then I decided that I was just going to go full force and go diamond because I had no other option. So I sacrificed hanging out with my friends, my family. I'm a very outgoing girl and I love to have fun. I love going out. And that was really hard for me because, like I said, that's what I wanted to do. But anyways, I studied abroad in Amsterdam that July, and I was still, I think, maybe a ruby at the time. Honestly, I don't remember, but I was either a ruby or I wasn't getting paid as a ruby then. Like I said, it was confusing for me. Okay, so I was in Amsterdam until almost September. Came home, started my last semester of college. So mind you, this is crazy. I've never completed a Steps to Success ever from October till after I came back, like at the end of August. I ended up promoting to diamond in September. I enrolled 50 loyal customers and I think like 6 maybe distributors. I got the $5,000 bonus. So starting, my last semester of college, and then October, November, I promoted to double diamond. I got the $15,000 bonus while through graduation, finishing up my finals, graduated, and then, like I said, decided not to go get my master's. December and January, ended up paying off all my credit cards that I had. And then January, I enrolled 25 distributors. So I was going ham really hard. And it's funny, and I tell my girls this all the time, sorry I'm getting sidetracked, but I didn't even get top distributor enroller with 25. So that's how crazy January is, because everyone else is pushing as well too. But then February, I started traveling, and that's something that I always wanted to do, and that's something that I found that I really wanted to do, and I was studying abroad in Amsterdam. So I went to New Mexico, Colorado, and then we had conference. I went to conference. I came back, and at the end of February, I promoted to triple diamond. After that, my only vision was presidential. Like, there's no slowing down for me. I went to a VIP retreat, Jade Hooper's VIP retreat. If you guys don't know, that's 100, I'm sure, in Wisconsin in May. That was like crazy for me. I got to meet all triples and above, and I just pretty much promoted to triple. So it was a lot, overwhelming in a good way. So then I'm like pumped, ready to go. And then I go to green carpet and I see all VIP elites, like, getting the special treatment. And I look at Cassie and I'm like, this should have happened 3 months ago. Like, I'm like so mad, but not mad, but more like motivated, obviously. So then
Hey, Emily, real quick, not to interrupt,
Yeah.
but I don't think Laura Richards is muted, and someone said it's really distracting background noise. Will you mute her quick?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Lauren said, I can't find
Laura, Laura.
Oh. Wait, it doesn't give me the option to mute her.
I know, I can't mute her either.
Laura, can you hear us? Can you mute yourself? Can I boot her out? I don't want to, but
I tried messaging her individually already, so you might have to boot her and she can rejoin.
I don't know how to do it. I'm clicking.
Neither. Carrie, you know?
Yeah. Is
Carrie,
it still bothering you guys? That's weird because I don't hear anything.
Do you want to mute everyone again, maybe?
Yeah.
Then you have to unmute me later, but that's okay.
Wait.
They say they don't hear anything anymore, so just keep going.
I literally can't even see it with the muting right now. It's so weird. Okay. So then, I came back from green carpet, and then in July I promoted to presidential. So this is obviously amazing, and I'm so ready for ambassador, but that's really it. I'm just pushing hard and just running. Like, I am, like, my mindset and my goals are so large. And I just want to be like number one. I don't know if you guys know Grant Cardone, but he has a book called If You're Not First, You're Last. So that's really my mindset. But yeah, it's been 5 months since I promoted, and I'm just pushing hard. I actually had a little spark today because I thought, it's been, after it gets a little while and you haven't promoted, you get a little down sometimes, and that's totally normal. But I've been getting top distributor enroller since August, and I didn't get one this month, and I was like so upset. And then for some reason I went to my junk mail and it was in there. So it's been 5 months in a row, and I'm like, it got a like extra spark in me, because sometimes I get down on myself for no reason, and that's natural again. But so here I am now. I'm just traveling and having fun, like I said, and working hard. That's my life.
That is amazing, Emily, that you have been able to be top distributor enroller for 5 months in a row. I think my first question we want to ask you is kind of like personal development. You said, you were a psychology major and that personal development is really important to you. So can you kind of just touch on that for everyone? I know a little background for me is I had messaged Emily, 5 months ago and asked her about personal development, and you recommended the book, The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. And I know even for me that super changed everything for me. So I know you're super into personal development, and I'll kind of let you touch on that.
Yeah, so I actually, like I said, I kept changing my major. So I graduated with liberal studies, and if you guys don't know what that is, you can basically have 2 or 3 minors, because again, I couldn't decide. So I stuck with psych and soc, and I had a concentration in criminal justice. That's actually what I went to Amsterdam for, learning about all that fun stuff. But psychology and sociology just stuck to me my whole life. Like, that was the only thing that really stuck to me. So I guess it makes sense. I feel like people who have been in for a while go through the same process of how I've been going through. And that's just me trying to figure out like why I'm here, like what led me here besides God and faith. And I know for a fact that obviously why I'm so big with the mindset and self-development thing is because I've always been attracted to psychology and like the mind and whatnot. but yeah, I just started self-developing. My first book was You Are a Badass, and I started listening to Les Brown on YouTube and Tony Robbins. I actually am more into Tony Robbins now. I was more into Les Brown first. Then he kind of faded off, but we all go through, our own things. So if you're new, I highly suggest starting with You Are a Badass. I feel like that's a very good intro to self-development mindset book. But yeah, that's just how it started. And then for me, like, I tell everyone all the time, and it sucks because I don't like talking about it for a certain reason, but I do because I know so many people can relate. But I have really bad, not anymore, but I struggle with anxiety and depression. So learning how to control your mindset is highly important when it comes to that, especially with both of them. So I feel like that's another reason why I was so into it, because I struggled for years with it, and I also didn't understand why. I kind of like felt bad for myself at one point. Like, why am I going through this? Why am I struggling? Like, nothing happened for me to feel like this. So it was also me trying to find myself. So that's exactly what self-development is, it's going to grow your mind. So that's really how it started. But I do it every day. It's like the best thing ever.
That's amazing. Thank you. Yes, personal development can definitely change your day around. Okay, so we just have like some different questions for you, I guess. So I think I'm just going to go through them and you can answer them how you want, and we'll go from there. So first question, I think I know, but you work your business mostly on Instagram, right?
Yes, and within the last few months, I've gradually, obviously it doesn't happen overnight, but gradually I've gone everywhere. Like, Facebook was second, and now I'm even starting with Snapchat, and I already have 3 Instagrams. So it's a lot, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it. And so if something takes you like 2 minutes to do, for example, like adding 100 people, you just multiply that by the amount of accounts you have, I guess. So it's like, 6 minutes. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't seem like a lot after I put it that way, but it's worth it, especially if you want to get going and run.
No, exactly. I think that's where the 10X rule by Grant Cardone comes in. Just multiply your efforts.
Yep.
So do you work your business the same on Instagram and Facebook, or do you kind of do you message on both of them?
Like I
Or
said,
more
I'm
just
still
Instagram?
developing, but I do not message on Facebook.
Okay.
That's something I need to take the time to do and learn. I know the contacts are alphabetical order, so I feel like it would almost be semi-easier. I did when I first started. So I'm just so comfortable with messaging on Instagram. I haven't gone to Facebook, no. But that's also why I like using different social medias, because they all have different little things that are awesome that the other one doesn't have, so for example, I love Facebook because you have statuses and you can post whatever you want, versus it bothers me because on Instagram we have photos and you go on your profile, and if like I have 2 selfies next to each other, I'm like, oh no, I gotta delete one right now. And for Facebook, you don't really have to worry about that, you know what I'm saying? And you can do like a lot. I feel like it's a lot easier to do more interactive stuff on Facebook as well, but I don't know. There's different things.
No, that's awesome. So if you're mostly on Instagram, do you message mostly for like customers, distributors, both? What do you kind of do on Instagram?
I cold message for customers since day one, and since day one I didn't really cold message for distributors until I was pushing for Diamond. My mentality, like, if you want to get it going, like, I'm not waiting for people to come to me. No way. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to reach out and I'm going to get 1,000 no's, but that 1 or 2 yes is going to be amazing, So I started cold messaging for distributors when I was pushing for Diamond, and then I stopped probably this year right after I promoted to Triple, and then I kind of found a different groove. So obviously I'm learning how to post a lot better now. So I'm getting a lot more people coming to me, but I also am that very anxious person, and I don't like wait, so every single person that I cold message for a product that mentions for 1 second that they don't have the money, I automatically turn them into a PDT. So technically I'm still cold messaging them. But again, I'm not going to wait. And for me, I guess just from my experience, I hate following up. And following up is super important. And I do follow up. But for customers, I probably enroll 98% on the spot. So
Yes.
for me, who enrolls a lot of customers a month, my mentality is like, I don't know, like I'd rather turn a potential customer who I've been following up with like 3 or 4 times into a distributor or a PDT instead of continuing my 6th or 7th or 8th follow-up. But everyone is different, that's just what works for me.
Keep going, sorry.
No, it's okay.
So when you're messaging for customers, like how do you, I guess, Carrie asked, how many messages a day do you send? So we'll start with that on Instagram.
So I do have 3 accounts, and because of the algorithm, I think it's because of the algorithm, we are getting blocked more. I don't know if you guys have been seeing that, but
yeah.
I have and my team has. So I kind of switch up all my accounts, and that's another reason why I made a 3rd one as well, because if I'm blocked on one, I can use the other 2 and so on. But so I kind of rotate. So technically I'm messaging on 2 accounts a day. So I would say about like anywhere from, I'd say minimum 150. Yeah, minimum. Because if I'm using 2 accounts.
So then how are you like ensuring that you're getting enough followers? Have you ever ran into the problem where like you don't have enough followers back to message them? And if so, like what do you do for that? Does that make sense? Or maybe you've never had that problem.
I have, but not recently. And what I do is just I follow more. I find time and I go on a following spree, especially when I'm promoting, because you're doing more work. So it's easier to run out of followers. I just stay up later, even though I love sleep, and I just follow more people. That's really it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to cold message someone that just followed me back within the 24 hours too. So I kind of just work around it. But that's another reason why I made another account. You know what I'm saying? If I have caught up on my followers with one account and I can only message about 30 people, then I have my other account to message another 30, and then my other account to message another 30, for example. So that's 90 people, but 30 different from each account, if that makes sense.
No, that totally makes sense. So someone kind of asked like how do you explain like a loyal customer and like kind of step by step on how you talk to someone? Like how do you enroll them? Do you enroll them yourself? Do you have them do it? Kind of how you go from Instagram. Do you text them? Do you keep it on Instagram? Kind of how you do that?
I always get numbers.
Like right away?
Right away. So I send them the cold message. If they answer me with any questions, I try not to sound like I'm hiding something from them. So I guess it depends on the question that they ask. But if they say, sure, awesome, what kind of products do you have? I say there's a ton of different products. Can I text you details? It's so much easier than DM. That's really it. And then I text them. Some people will say, I'm more comfortable on here. I'd say no problem. And then I just send them the product options and then go from there. It's really simple. I mean, I just keep the same flow every time.
And then someone also asked, how do you like make it sound urgent that you have like that, 98% that you like sign them on the spot like that?
I always use spots. Like I always say, listen, I just helped two other people right now. I only have one personal discounted spot left. You want to take it before someone else does? And I just change that message up in my head as I go.
No, totally makes sense. Let's see. Carrie asked in the group chat, what's like an example message that you send?
I can read one.
Okay.
I also switch my messages up. Like, is something small as adding their name, like, hey, Jessica, or instead of hey, girl.
I think it helps the algorithm.
Yeah. So, for example, hey, Chelsea, this is super random, but I was looking at your page and I think you're really pretty and would have fun with this. I was wondering if you'd be a product tester for me. I think you would love some of our products. And right now, I'd be able to give you my, in capital letters, personal discount for doing so. Very simple. I added spaces. I don't know if you guys can see. Oh, and I'm frozen again.
Yeah, you're frozen. I can't see.
I literally just added spaces like in a paragraph format. That's it. Instead of putting it all together to help. And it looks a little more professional, but I just change things up as much as I can. I don't know, just to make it different. Sticking to the same thing doesn't
always work.
I guess. I don't know.
Okay, next question. What is your best tips on signing distributors?
Life posting, being honest, being yourself, utilizing Instagram stories has been helping me. I feel like that's been getting me a lot of interaction. Getting on the phone with people, I highly suggest it. If you're new, ask your upline to get on the phone with you and do a 3-way call. Super important. I've been pushing that on my new girls because I get it. It's hard, like especially in the beginning. It's like I don't want to talk about, I don't know what to say, and then I don't know. I guess you get what I'm saying, guys. But 3-way calls 100%. If you're not doing them, do them. And if you're not getting on the phone with potential shippers, do it. If you're nervous, take your notes in your phone and read off of them as you're talking to the distributor or the potential. So they, if you want to explain what you do, literally just read off your notes. You may sound like you're reading, but I'm telling you, it's a completely different vibe when you're on the phone with people.
So how soon do you get them on the phone? Like, do you kind of explain like what being a distributor is and everything like that before, or are you just like, hey, let's chat about it, call them right away?
Yeah, usually, I kind of feed off of their vibe, but usually I send them what we do first. And then it depends, if they're asking me a ton of questions and they're really excited, I will probably most likely get on the phone with them right now because A, it's a lot for me to write because they have a lot of questions, and B, if they're coming off of the bat super excited like that, I want to sign them on the spot, so getting them on the phone. But it's kind of the same thing for people who aren't really feeling it too, because when you get on the phone with them, you can make them more excited type deal. And just emphasizing like being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to be nervous about like the kit pricing or the $20 e-suite or the auto shipment. I tell them that. You know what I'm saying? Because people appreciate honesty. That's it. And that's my best advice, because I used to be nervous with it too all the time. And sharing your story. And if you don't have a story to share, ask an upline to get on the phone with you and have them do all the freaking talking. Like if you want to be successful, your team has to be successful as well. One team, one mission. So I'm sure your upline would love to help and get on a 3-way call. Or you can just, again, be honest and say, I just started, but I'm running with it, and I want you to come with me. You can just say you made your $100 back and you're just pushing, But yeah, little things like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it's just kind of depending on the person, if they ask a lot of questions right away or not, and just reading them.
Voice
Okay, so
messaging too.
what'd you say?
Voice messaging. Like if you can't get on the phone for some reason, send voice messages. I have been training my distributors this way. And I mean, there's so many benefits, but you take advantage of voice memo because once you send something, you can save it. You go to your voice memo app and you edit the title. So for example, for me, I enroll a lot of distributors. It's a lot of work, like a lot of work, and that's a blessing and a sin because if you don't have time and if you're not giving your distributors everything, then that's not good, So for me, I just come up with these things and like I said, talking to potential distributors too. So you're not saying the same things over and over again. Save the voice memo. So like, for example,
So is it just this app? You literally just use the voice memos app?
yeah. So that's it. If you send someone a voicemail right now through text, if you hold it down and save it, it says copy or save. It goes right there. So when you go to the app and you can edit the title. So I can read you. I have a crap ton of mine, but like especially here, I'll read some. But I have one that's called posting. I have one that's called got your 4 LCs. Now it's time to enroll ETs. I have one that's called consistency equals results. How to follow, about eSuite. I mean,
That's amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could save them. I'm always voice messaging people like the same thing.
It's awesome. It helps so much, saves so much time.
Oh my gosh, yes. So when you're on the phone with someone, like someone asked in the chat, how do you seal the deal? You know what I mean? Once you've said all the information, everything like that, like how do you seal the deal?
I'm a very straightforward person, and I just ask them, "What is stopping you?" That's it. My goal is to get people to tell me their fears, and to be honest with me. But that's why it's super important to be honest with them and to relate to them, because that's going to make them feel comfortable to tell you how they're feeling without you even have to ask. I cannot talk right now. Sorry. But yeah, I just ask them, like, what is stopping you then? Like, why, if you need the money, then why aren't you, like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you feeling? That's me. That's all I say. I'm just super straightforward with people.
No, awesome. Okay, so, so how do you stay organized throughout your day? Like, what does your day look like? I think that's kind of the same question.
Do you really want to know?
I think so. Someone asked. Maybe it's not the same every day. I don't know.
Whatsoever. I try to organize, and it gives me more anxiety than not being organized. Or I get organized, and then a week later, I say F this. Excuse my language. I mean, I feel like the most organized I get when it comes to like setting alarms in my phone, like when to post, sending messages hourly, adding hourly. I use my phone for almost everything. I have a new planner and it smells really good. So for some reason I love it because it has this weird new smell. I know I'm really weird, but so I have to use it now. Yeah, I don't know. It's just and it's nice, but I've spent so much money on planners, guys. It's embarrassing to say. So keep saying this is my last one. Okay, anyways, I'll tell you some tips that I do, how I use my phone. If I'm talking to a potential who isn't 100%, but they're super, super interested, and I'm nervous because they're not going to give me a day when they can join because they don't have the money, for example, and we're trying to come up with ways for them to find it. I'll screenshot it. And then I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys know, you can draw on your screenshots. I'll literally draw in red FUP, follow up with a star, because we go on our camera roll all the time. So if I see that, I'm gonna go on automatically follow up. So my screenshot is my camera roll is full of screenshots like that. Also, I use emojis next to people's names, or I use like stars next to people's names. I use Siri if someone gives me a day, like if someone wants to get HSN Friday, I'll say, hey Siri, remind me to text PLC HSN Friday, and that's their name in my phone. That's literally it. You know, that's all I do. But I feel like I said, I sign most of my loyal customers up on the spot. It's more me trying to stay organized with distributors. Because distributors are definitely more likely to sign up after months, for example, instead of a customer. That's what I think. I could be wrong, you know, but yeah, I don't really have much organizational skill. I highly suggest it though, especially if you're new. So that's really bad advice probably, but that's the truth.
If it's working for you, that's what matters. Like whatever works for you. And you know, there's probably plenty of other unorganized people that work this business and are boss babes at it. So obviously you're living proof.
Well, I feel like that's one of the main reasons why I get people's phone numbers is because they're in my text messages. You know what I'm saying? So with Instagram, if people change their Instagram names, then you're not going to be able to find them. I mean, you might, you know, but it's a process. Or I tend to lose a lot of messages too, or like I'll see bold ones that I haven't, that like were not there a week ago and I've checked them 1,000 times. So I don't know, just being in a text message helps a lot. I also use the group text app a lot. And that is an app where you could mass send out a group text to everyone in your phone, so you can't use that on Instagram. So I just feel better if I have everyone in my text messages. That's really it.
No, I totally agree with you. I like getting people's numbers too. Okay, someone asked, what's like your suggestion for someone who wants to go full-time with It Works like as soon as possible? Like what would be your tips to them?
This is a hard question. So I guess where to start is, you know, being consistent. And with that, you know, you have to self-development and get your mind right, because if you don't know what you're working for, you know, or if you don't have that trigger in your head where you don't need an alarm, and you're just like, if you're someone who's posting, you know, every day as much as you're supposed to, messaging and following when you're supposed to, and you're doing it, then you're good. You just need, like, you know, more self-development, and you just have to be consistent and, I don't know, learn more, use YouTube, reach out to your upline, you know. But, you know, if you're someone who's not doing what you're supposed to be doing every day and you're not seeing like any results really, then you got to find your why. Like, you got to find your purpose. I feel like that's number one. For me, I had no other choice. So I just went on YouTube and I found it worked for me. I have a great enroller and mentor. Cassie is amazing, and we're all best friends. So I wouldn't be where I am today without her. But I also do things that work for me that they don't do, you know, and I learned that by YouTube. That's literally it. I watched every video on YouTube about It Works, every ambassador, presidential, found things that connected with me. Like I said, self-development, Grant Cardone. You just have to do it. You know, you also have to put in perspective, like, what do you want to do? Like, if you want diamond, you have to take how much you make as a diamond monthly, and you need to do the math and figure out how many hours of work that is. You know, for me, I was working 24/7, and I work 24/7 now, and I still don't think I'm working hard enough to be an ambassador, but that's just me probably getting on myself. But who knows? You know what I'm saying? So you need to look at sacrificing time too with friends and family and sleep as an investment. You know, you need to get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't tell you this stuff when I was even pushing for diamond because I didn't know, but I didn't have that mindset then. So that's really it. I mean, just start self-developing, reaching out to your enroller, getting to events, not making it an option. You know what I'm saying? I'm no one special, and if I can do it, you can do it too. It's just merely finding your way, you know? That's really it. I mean, I don't know. That's it.
No, that's awesome. Okay, so how you were saying, Cassie's an awesome upline mentor, stuff like that. Someone asked, like, so how, once you get someone in, get a new DT in, how do you go about training that new DT?
So I actually changed things up recently. I saw this on, I forgot who posted it, but it was on the New Lifers page, and it blew me away, and it's working amazing. But if you don't have like a lot of time to do it, then it gets a little tricky. But if you want this, you'll find time, you'll make it. You know what I'm saying? So she said that she doesn't add anyone into her groups right away, and she just starts working on them. I add them to our group because it's just another outlook for them. And if they want to get jump started, whatever, like if DTs are going to get overwhelmed the second that they join, then I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can't like help it. Like, I don't know. But anyways, I give them a message. It's a generic, hey, I just started my own business. I sell this. I'm working for this. Can I count on you? Type of deal. And I have them make a list of 30 people. I'll read it to you, actually. It's kind of funny. I'm really upset I forgot who it was from.
Is it the dirt list?
Yes. Kind of. I forgot what it, hold on. I have to read it because it's funny. What the heck? My phone's been so weird lately, too. Okay, it says, I need you to make a list of 30 people, the more the better. You would tell you're pregnant tomorrow if you didn't have Facebook. This is your dirt list. Do you know this?
No, I don't. I haven't heard the pregnant part.
So funny. So if you were selling dirt, they'd buy it because they love you. Send me the list when you're done.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yes,
And I basically just like scold them, but not really. And I say, you need to send them to 5 people individually, and you need to send me screenshots for everything. Do not send me a screenshot. Do not answer without me giving you an answer. And that's really it. I'm like, I'm going to make you a mass enroller. And that's how I start out with everyone. It's a lot. It's very overwhelming, but that's the thing, guys. Like, you need to put time in your new distributors. So you need to decide, are you going to be a mass enroller and promote faster? And if so, make the time to do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't mass enroll and be like, oh, I'm doing this, going out with my friends, not answering, like not investing time in my business. So that's what I do. And I just walk people through. When they get their 4 customers, I add them to a group chat for newbies that I have on Facebook, so that they can see, like, I don't know, everyone going, asking questions. And then I start them like on enrolling distributors. I kind of just go with the flow and feel their vibe. If sometimes they'll be like, all right, I'm ready to go, like, tell me everything. If not, I take them step by step. I tag them, and Jade has a Sealing the Deal video of having convos. My conversations are fairly the same, so it's just good to see stuff like that. And again, like, I just take them slowly. I mean, it depends where they are and how I feel about it, but I'll give them a first post. It's usually an HSN post, because most popular. And then let's see. I just teach them slowly. I don't know. And I really connect with my distributors. That's super important, guys.
Would you say that most of your distributors get their 4 customers off that dirt list?
Yes, because my Kristen's cash is out of this world, and I don't think it would be where it is if I didn't start that, because I started it like right before it came out. So I don't know. Like 100%. Yeah. I was thinking something else in my head and I was like, I don't know. But yes.
Have you ever had people tell you like, oh, I can't think of 30 people? And if so, like, what do you tell them?
If you guys, I'm sure this list is, I mean, I would just be straight up and be like, what, like a mom, a dad, do you have a sister, a brother, like a cousin? But if I kind of push people, because then you get people who are like, oh, well, they just won't buy from me. And I'll say, but you can't do that. Like you can't be nervous too. If they say no, then that's okay. For me, 99% of my success has been through strangers on social media. So that's how I connect with people like that. But then I get distributors who get like a crap ton of loyal customers from all their friends and family when they first start, which is amazing. That's great. But none of my family helped me out in the beginning because they couldn't and because I didn't want to. So that I just say that to them. And I also say, like, even if every single friend and family joined you when you first started, like, you want future success. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of will, I would just start them in their followers on Instagram. And I tell them, okay, well, let's just start from the bottom of your followers and go up. Don't skip anyone. So then we can just start off with strangers then, or acquaintances, I guess you would say. I just find a way around it.
Exactly. Have them start messaging on Instagram if they don't want to do the dirt list. Okay, let's see here. I think we just have a couple more questions for you. So when you said about the customers, once they sign up for customers, you get them started on distributors. So do you have new distributors sign out like a DT message, or do you just still have them do kind of what you do, the PLC to distributor if they say they don't have money?
Yes, that's what I do. If they say they want to like jump in more, then I have them start sending potential PDT cold messages. But I start that with them even before sometimes they enroll like their own loyal customers together. I try not to, but I don't know. It's just like a habit. It's just a habit for me.
No, whatever works for you. Okay, so as we know, we're going like into boom season. So what are some of like your biggest tips for people, who haven't experienced boom season, going into boom season, just kind of, what's coming? I don't know, your biggest tips with boom season coming.
So I've been through two, and this is my best advice. My first one, I was super naive, and I not necessarily purposely pushed myself away from conference and rolled my eyes at everyone saying boom season and this is gonna happen, everyone freaking out, and although I did promote to Ruby after conference, even though I didn't go, the month after conference my mindset was horrible, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't even getting paid as a Ruby after conference. So boom season usually lasts way after conference, if you guys don't know. Fast forward to this past year, and boom season came, and I rolled 25 distributors in January, promoted to triple in February, and then 5 months later, promoted to presidential. So that's what happens when you take advantage of boom season. You know what I'm saying? That's really all I have, because like I said, I've only technically been through one, because I don't really remember the first one.
No, that makes sense. Okay, I think like last question. Someone just said, it's in the chat. They said, can you walk through an LC combo?
Yeah, I can say it right now, because I say it to my girls all the time. Same thing every time. Cold message. Let's say I get their number. I feel like if they ask a question, it's common and obvious to answer. I get their number. Hey girl, it's Emily. I send them the product options. The product options are like our top 5 or 6 options. And at the end I say, which would you prefer? Let's start easy. Let's say they give me HSN. I do a quick description of HSN. This is what it does. And I ask people questions. have you been trying to grow your hair out or your nails? Like, are you trying to get healthier, etc.? What are you looking for out of this? You know, they tell me it's most likely they want to grow their hair out. So I say I use something about me because I have before and after pictures, but if not, like I have my girls send something about Nyara. I don't know if you guys have seen Nyara's before and after pictures for HSN, but share someone else's. Say, this is one of our girls, or this is my friend, Carissa. Like, she's been trying to grow her hair out for 2 years, and this is her results after 3 months on HSN. And I send her before and after picture. That's it. That's it. Like, don't answer any questions that aren't asked. Ask them questions, though. People want that. People want to be, like, talking about themselves. That's just how we are, you know? And then let's say they just say, that's so awesome. And you're like, all right, like, are you going to ask how much it is? Or you're like that awkward moment. I just go right into it. I say, okay, so here's the deal. I just helped 2 girls get their order and only have 1 spot left. Are you in? Like, that's literally it. That's it. If they do multiple options, I start with the most expensive one. If they mention anything that has to do with weight loss, I automatically ask them, are you trying to lose weight? Literally, I'm just, because obviously, like our system, for example, is the most. And then I kind of just gradually tell them about multiple products if they're different. So if it's like HSN, the shake, and like, I don't know, ThermoFit, you know, I'll do the shake first, and then I'll say, and, you know, ThermoFit does this, and then I'll finish that convo, and then I'll say, and lastly, like, HSN is my favorites. I try to just fluently go through them without sending them all of the descriptions and overwhelming them. But that's really it. It goes the same way every time. If someone asks, like, let's say they ask how much it is, I say, hair, your nails is $55 retail 1 month, or I can give you my last spot for only $33 for our 90-day challenge. If they ask what the 90-day challenge is, I say it's 1 order a month at my personal discount. That's it. Same thing every time. That's it. The only thing I do different is I relate to people. Like, I ask them questions and I make them feel like they're being cared about, and that's what makes a huge difference. And I'm positive. I'm excited, you know. That's really it. I feel like you guys hear that all the time.
But sometimes it takes hearing it from someone else. So
of course. Well, that's more important, you know. You just have to. I listen to some books and audiobooks and YouTube videos of people that I don't relate to, or that they're not like, I don't know, like, you know, you have a professor sometimes that just like she's not connecting with whatsoever, but they're there for a reason. Listen to them, you know what I'm saying, and move on to someone else and learn from them. But you have to, like, lead. You gotta learn by example. That's really it. You gotta be trainable. That's I push that a lot on people.
No, that is awesome. I think that's all of our questions, Emily. You did an awesome job answering them and just looking quick through. I guess there's one that I missed. Yeah, and just answer it quick since we're almost at an hour. They said, like, what would you say to someone on your team if they feel completely lost, like they failed and are trying to get going again? What would you say to a DT who feels like they've let their team down?
I mean, I guess for someone who's lost, I mean, it all depends. You know, it depends, like, what their story is, what they've done. Honestly, I had one girl today who wanted to quit, and I was really upset because, you know, she said that what she made within a few months she was in wasn't worth it, and it killed me, obviously, because someone would give an arm literally for what she made. So for me, I just said, you know, I asked them, well, what are you doing? You know, like, are you working for it? You know? And then I'll say, well, what did you want out of this? Because you told me X. Like, I thought you wanted that. Like, what's going on? And you just be super honest with them and ask them that. You know, sometimes when I enroll a distributor and I get to know them, I put notes in my phone of like their why and what made them want to start this. So I don't forget, obviously. And that's what I do. I just ask them like, well, if you're lost, then what are you working for? You know what I'm saying? Like, you need a purpose. You need a why, you know? And I'll immediately ask them like, have you made a dream board yet? You know what I'm saying? It's like the first thing. That's the first thing. But yeah, exactly what Carrie said. They just lost their why. And that's what I constantly remind people all the time. I just ask them, like, what are you working for? You know, and I'll say, I don't mean this in a rude way, but why did you start? You know, why did you start this business? Like, what do you want out of it? If it's someone who's coming to me for advice and I don't know them really, for example, it's literally what I ask them is, you know, why did you start? You know?
No, that is awesome. Okay, well, I think that answers all of our questions. I know some of your teams, I don't know if you have questions or whatever, but other than that, thank you so, so much for hopping on Zoom last minute. We greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I think that's all then. Do you have anything, Emily?
I do not.
Okay, sounds good. Okay,
well, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, well, Emily's recording it, so she can probably send me that afterwards, and we can get it posted in the team page. So thank you all for hopping on. Emily, we appreciate you taking time out of your night to hop on with us. Yeah, and so anyways, we'll talk to you all later then.
I'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.